my top 10 mottos that have helped me in my life. The first one, and I love this one, and I used to say it over and over again to people who worked with me, was make your own luck. I truly believe that this is a very, very crucial thing as you're going through life and work, because your life is your own. You're the only person that can make yourself successful. So this one might be a little bit controversial, but there actually is such a thing as a dumb question. Ask questions, I believe that you should, but only after you've exhausted every avenue to figure out the problem on your own. This is what I say to my husband. If I weren't in the room, what would you do? So ask before you go to your boss, before you go to your manager or a colleague, say, okay, if I was the last person in this company and I had to resolve this, what would I do? And even if you don't have the solution, at least you can then go to your manager or boss and say, okay, you know what, I don't know what the solution is, but what about this? Or how about if we try this? Instead of saying, oh, what do? I don't know what to do. Or where do I find this? Like it's important to be able to be self-reliant and be able to show your colleagues and your managers that you can try to come up with solutions even though you don't have possibly all the resources. Know your audience. So obviously your colleagues do become your friends often, and if you're out with a bunch of your friends and colleagues, then you should be having fun, and part of your job experience is to create social relationships for sure. But you know what? If there's people in the crowd that don't know you or that could judge you by some of your actions, then just be very careful about the slippery slope, because it can be slippery, and the problem is you don't get a lot of chances to make a good impression, and that kind of reputation can follow you even if you try to erase it. So have fun, absolutely, but sort of know when to shut it down. And it is hard, because sometimes, for many years, I was the only woman in the room. I was the only woman on the golf course, and I couldn't keep up with the one beer per hole. I can tell you that. That would have been disaster. It made my golf better, but it did nothing for. So you just know your limits, and it's all very common sense, obviously, but. It's hard not to get sucked into the world and to the parties and all that sort of stuff. And if you can be conscious, at least, of maneuvering that, be conscious that there are people that do judge you by what you do at parties, unfortunately, and it can affect how you're seen at work. Then I think, those are my words of wisdom in that area. So I think that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but happy to answer them now or afterwards when we're having a libation. Well, thank you. It's nice to see so many different faces in here, so thanks very much.